With the release of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, this being a game, guys, that, a lot of people are, enjoying in a pretty major way when it first released, gives you those vibes, of course, of like Dead by Daylight and games like this, where you're either one of the victims or you're one of the villains that's trying to hunt down the people within the home. And it's a very interesting concept, this being a Texas Chainsaw Massacre, style game. And like I said, really, really fascinating. And I think the game is actually quite fun. But even though I've seen all of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies, I would love to see a campaign here for this game. And at this point in time, it is only a multiplayer experience. There is no campaign to be seen, and it does not sound like it really will be coming at any time in the foreseeable future. And the reason for this is probably because they've made so many Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies. So they probably felt that a campaign didn't make a lot of sense because so many people already know the story. But I just feel that to, have a story mode within this, and you could have a multitude of different ways to kind of spin the story where it's still, of course, real events, but you're also, able to do it from a player perspective, actually being able to play the story out, I think would be very, very fascinating. And having the multiplayer is great because guess what? Multiplayer modes, guys, are going to bring you back to the experience over and over again. But a single player story or a co-op story is going to really immerse you into the world. I always feel that, having the full package is what really makes a AAA title. Having, a single player story, co-op modes, and then multiplayer modes where, you come back to the experience over and over again. You play that single player story, you learn about the mechanics, how the game works, you learn about the legacy, the lore, all of those things. And then you can play with your friends, whether it's in a campaign perspective, or you can go up against other people across the globe in a multiplayer perspective. And it brings you back to that experience over and over again. So will the Texas Chainsaw Massacre ever have a campaign? Really, guys, the short answer to that, because they've made so many, movies around this franchise, I believe that there's a really good chance that we will not see a campaign come out for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That being said, though, I think that we as the community, our voice, means a lot more than you might think. And I think that if enough people want to see a Texas Chainsaw Massacre campaign come out, the developers may very well start considering it, but they want to obviously hear enough from the community that those are the things that they want. And obviously with this being a multiplayer experience, I think it's awesome, by the way, that they created a multiplayer experience and prioritize that over a single player story, at least right here, right now. Because if you were to say, you can have one of two things. You can have a multiplayer experience for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre or a campaign mode. And I would say for sure multiplayer because we've seen the story over and over again from a movie perspective. And so having the multiplayer I think is awesome, but having the campaign that can really build upon what they're trying to do, especially if they ever decided, to create another Texas Chainsaw Massacre game, it can definitely help with building that legacy, building that lore and story of this, beloved franchise. But let me know, guys, do you think they'll ever make a Texas Chainsaw Massacre campaign for the game? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Let's have a conversation about it. And for more of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre content and videos, stay here with zrotv.